Well, I've been clear about the fact that our program is really well positioned to be successful in our league, and we believe that we can achieve that level of success competing in the top three and for championships every year. So it seemed like the right time, given the recent history and long history of our program, that it was time to do that.
When did you make up your mind that it was time?
That's a process you kind of go through, and actually for me, it's been a couple of years of watching and observing and learning really a lot about the quality of our program and the support we provide that we just weren't getting to that level.
Is this direction part of the reason why you guys declined postseason tournament play?
Well, our expectations are the reason why we declined postseason play. Fifth place, again, doesn't really merit, given the program that we had, rewarding with postseason.
Was there thought about moving on with this last year when the academic stuff happened and with the finish in the league last year as well?
No, I wouldn't say there was thought. You evaluate every year, and kind of our expectations were higher than what we'd achieved, but wanted to continue to see if we could make that progress.
Amanda, is there a risk of alienating supporters? The team, there seems to be some frustration with the team. I think Coach Jeter was a well-liked person in the community. Is there a risk at alienating your supporters?
Yeah, I think always. It's rarely 100% on one side or the other, and so we do our best to make decisions that are based on our expectations, our goals, and our values.
There are some players, obviously, that could graduate and play elsewhere or transfer or whatever. Are you concerned a little bit about the state of the program seeming to be in flux?
No, I think every program's in flux every year. You always run that risk, right? We see that all over the place, that the students make those decisions based on whatever it is. And so we're just going to continue to move forward and hope that they will feel good about what we provide and our opportunities in our league.
And Amanda, you talked about, obviously, performance on the court, but was this also budgetary as well, because the university is in a little bit of a budget crunch?
No, it wasn't. I think we're very comfortable with the investment we have in the program. We believe that it's where it needs to be right now, and always you can use more. And we'll hope to generate some revenue to help our program grow even more. So no, it wasn't.
What's your thumbnail sketch of an ideal candidate?
I think pretty generically, it's somebody that believes in the success that we can achieve, shares our values with regard to excellence and education, cares a lot about being part of something bigger than themselves on a campus and in a community, and a little bit of fire. Definitely want to get some fire.
Is head coaching an experience mandatory?
No, it won't be. I think we're going to cast a pretty broad net, and I think there'll be a lot of really great people out there that are very interested in this position.
What reaction have you heard from boosters and supporters already this morning since the decision's been made?
Yeah, I've been pretty focused on reaching out to people, our current student athletes, our recruits, some folks around the program on campus, and a lot of support for what we're doing. Certainly there are people that, as was stated, really liked Coach Jeter and cared a lot about him, and a good man and a great staff, good people, and so it's to be understood that there's some disappointment, yeah.
Amanda, was there friction between you and Rob at any point throughout your tenure?
Was there friction?
From day one?
I think there's always some challenges between head coaches and the administration. If there isn't, that means they're probably not advocating for their program. So sure, yeah, there are disagreements and we work through them. I wouldn't say there was any major drama or trauma going on, but yeah, sure.
Well, the reason I ask is because it feels like they were surprised. The team, Coach Jeter, were surprised at a decision to turn down a postseason tournament, which would lead you to believe that maybe that criteria wasn't communicated at an earlier date. So I'm speaking to the level of trust. Did the team feel blindsided by that?
Well, and I've said this, and I've told people I've spoken to, parents and others, I never indicated that we would be taking postseason CBI and CIT. I never did that. I never misled them, made them think that was going to happen. That wasn't something I did.
But in fairness to the kids, Amanda, I mean, obviously they had a postseason ban, and they were kind of looking forward to something, and they didn't get to go to Europe, which we can sit and talk about, who was going to fund it and who wasn't, and what the decisions on that, and then they didn't go to the postseason. And so a lot of them stuck around for that opportunity. Is that fair to the student athletes?
Yeah, so when I evaluated whether or not we'd go this year, it was entirely based on our performance this year.
Okay. But the Europe trip didn't speak to that. I mean, obviously, there were people that said that that was going to be funded outside if there's budgetary concerns for the university. You know, what the decision behind, why not to foster some chemistry with the team and help them obviously have a good season? I guess that question's out there.
So I've never addressed that question about that trip,
Okay.
but I will right now. And what it is during the time that we were evaluating, we'd never planned the trip. We had never made any arrangements. We were evaluating whether or not we could do one. And it was during the time, if you remember, that the institution, UW system, there's a lot of upheaval, state budget, a lot of question marks about people and positions and programs. And so really we ultimately made the decision that we would delay that trip, regardless of the source of funding. To go on a trip like that, there may have been some challenge with the way that could have been perceived.
Okay.
And so no, we never canceled the trip. We never did anything like that. We made an assessment and evaluation that we would delay that.
So I guess, yeah, obviously there's buzz around every program, whatever, but the assumption was that obviously they could go and foster and build something if someone else, and that way it wouldn't be in the budget, that someone could have helped. So that's, I guess my question was, so your assessment was it wasn't quite what you thought it should be or would be, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, just wherever the funding comes from, it wasn't the right thing to do? Is that kind of
At that time, given the context of the university,
Okay.
it was a really, really difficult time with a lot of people and a lot of uncertainty. So that was the basis for that decision.
And-
Do you
but
feel like a lot of your decisions actually created the sabotage of the athletic department and of Coach Jeter's ability to be able to be even more effective? Because he was as effective as his predecessor. And I'm wondering, when you say he was not effective, exactly what do you mean that he was not? And it seems that you made decisions, like the question that was just articulated, as well as the choice to not let the young people go to the conference, which is the benefit for them, that you actually did things to sabotage Coach Jeter since you've been here.
Yeah, I've never done anything to sabotage any coach or any administrator in our department.
You don't feel that way.
I have not.
You have.
Well, you certainly have put a really wedge in the community because Coach Andre Ellis is my name. And Coach Jeter and the team built a very good relationship in a very impoverished neighborhood where they would come out every Saturday, as you know, and work in the garden. You know that, right? And
Yes.
work in the garden was We Got This Incorporated. Is
Yep.
the-
I haven't seen you in the community at all.
At all. And so everybody's really dismayed at this, and we've been watching for a while, and we were kind of wondering when you would do this. And we just don't think that the reasoning that you're given makes any real sense, and it's unfair to the kids who were thinking about coming to this university. And based on this decision, it's going to be my push to tell them, as long as you're here, it's not a good place.
Any other questions?
I think that that's sad that your response to the community is to completely turn your head and just turn away. I think that it's
Was there a
extremely
question?
sad.
Did I miss the question? I'm
think-
sorry.
think
I'll
if you-
answer if there's a
I think if you
question.
didn't feel the question and hear it in that, about the relationship with the community and what that means, it's a reflection of the lack that exists in you. If in a community where the individuals are a large group of individuals of color, you don't have any individuals based on your choices now in high management that are individuals of color. And it is
I'm sorry,
extremely disturbing.
we need to keep,
in
we need to keep
in
the,
regards
we need
to
to-
that.
excuse me, we need to keep the
Excuse
questions
me,
focused
these are
on.
questions
You can
that are
continue to talk.
focused because
On the
you
hiring, on
can't
the-
be
on what happened with
concerned
Rob today.
about the relationship with the athletic department and UWM with the communities of color, then I'm sorry that you feel that way. And if you don't believe that diversity is an important conversation to have, that the new athletic director has had a hit on the coach since she came, has not done things to support, and has, in the very question that was articulated, has made choices that sabotage the team and the players, and has dismissed the community as well as what could have happened for those players that played if they played in the conference. I think it's sad if you want to dismiss that and just turn away from it. I think you should address the issue of community and your lack of being in the community and how you see that.
Well, because one thing she said is that the new person coming in would have to be community. You just said that. It's on
Yes.
tape.
That's correct. Yes, so I know community is very important. I have I have 100%. I mean, we're in an urban environment partnerships with community. They are really important. You're right that Coach Jeter and our student athletes the last couple of years have really done more in that way. All of our student athletes do. All of our programs do. I commend them for that. And so, you know, you're entitled to feel the way you do, and we'll continue to lead in the way that we believe is important.
As
Do
far
we
as
have
the
any other
play.
questions? We have time for two
Sure.
more
Yeah,
questions.
Sure, thanks, Bill.
Question.
As far as the players go, Amanda, I mean, obviously Akeem took to Twitter, and I can only speak to what I saw and what I read and heard. Do you sense their frustration, like, okay, where's the program headed? And just, they basically didn't get to play in the postseason for 2 years, one by ban, one by decision. Can you speak to that and understand their frustration?
Yeah, so they haven't directly expressed their frustration to me. So when they do have the opportunity to do that, we'll have a conversation and talk through that. And I'll probably share with them all the things that we do to support that program, and especially relative to the other programs in our league and similar programs. We're proud of the way that we do support the program, and they may not know that. I'm not sure, you know, what lens they're looking through, but I can certainly sit down and talk with them. about
Amanda,
that.
Yeah, because they did share that publicly, so it's obviously out
Exactly.
there, you know.
It's been shared.
I just didn't know if,
You're not
you know,
listening.
how aware everybody was about, the sense from the outside is obviously the players are extremely frustrated.
Yeah. So like I said, we've not sat down and talked about their frustration.
Amanda, do you feel that part of that process is maybe building trust? Do you feel like maybe the players don't trust the athletic director, and maybe she's not looking out for our best interest? How come we're not continuing to
That's
play?
probably the truth.
Yeah, they may feel that way. I certainly haven't done anything directly to make them feel that way. I support them a great deal, and I think there are many of them that know that. So, like I said, we'll sit down and we can talk about it, and I'm happy to do that.
We have time for one more question.
You mentioned top 3 in the Horizon League. What's the standard for this program? How good can it be? What do you expect? I mean, Rob got them to 2 NCAA tournaments, so what's the bar?
So our expectation is every year, top 3 in our league. We believe, given the way that we do support the program, that we're capable of doing that. And then competing on a regular basis for the championship in our league. And then that will usually lead to postseason, which is the most exciting piece of it, is to get those invitations to the types of postseason that we believe our young people deserve.
Thank you, guys.